The reason that I chose Loughborough is because it feels really like a community. Like, everyone refers to Loughborough as like the bubble. It's supposed to be this very sort of community feeling university, and that's exactly what I've been getting from it as well. Like, I'm doing a master's here now because I decided to stay on, and the whole 3 years of my undergrad, there's just so much opportunity to get involved in all kinds of things, whether that's like societies, whether it's sports, whether it's representing your course and your course mates as a course rep, committee for halls and other things. And like, now I'm involved in media, so like it was definitely the community feel for me.
There's an atmosphere to Loughborough which I didn't expect. I came thinking it was just this really sporty university. It was good in lots of sciences, but that's all I knew about it. And I only came once I got my offer, because I don't live in the UK, so it was a bit difficult to visit universities. So as soon as I got here, there was an atmosphere and an environment of acceptance, and it sounds very cliche, but of family. And you were just allowed to be who you wanted to be. All the lecturers were really supportive. The campus is this huge green space. And for me, who came from this tiny, tiny town, this tiny little island, not jumping into a crazy big city, an overwhelming place of like hustle and bustle. Loughborough was this really nice intermediary of, it's in the UK, it's connected to lots of other places, but people call Loughborough a bit of a bubble, and you feel safe within that. And I think that's really nice. You're allowed to grow and develop in this stage of life without jumping into the deep end all at once. I think that's why I chose Loughborough in the end, and I'm so super glad I did.
I actually, when I was applying to universities, I was looking obviously at universities that offered my course. Material science and engineering is not a very common course, and it's only available at select few universities. I kind of flew over to the UK when I was in year 12 and did a UK tour, going to most of the universities that offered it. And genuinely, as soon as I walked into Loughborough, I think something just clicked, and I knew that I wanted to come here. I loved the campus vibe. It seemed like it was like a really big community. And despite looking at universities that were perhaps higher in the rankings, I knew that I just wanted to come here. And that was why.
I really liked the campus, and I still really, really like the campus. Like, it's massive, it's got everything you need on here. But also, I think the course that I was looking at doing, like history and politics at the time, I do politics and IR now, but the focus on contemporary politics is what sparked my interest, I think, because some of the other politics courses were like going right back to like ancient Greece, and I can do a bit of that, but I prefer like contemporary politics, what we're doing now, what we can do to change things right here and now.
Go to those auditions and don't be afraid, because if you hadn't have gone and been confident enough and pushed yourself to go, then my university experience would have been so different. And I'm so grateful for the fact I had this ounce of confidence in me that I was going, I'll just go to that audition. If I don't get in, it doesn't matter. I've shown my face and I've tried. I'll have met other freshers who are in the same position as I am. So keep up the confidence, push yourself at university. It's really your chance to get to do that.
I think the most important thing in first year is to just enjoy everything that you can, because that's where you have sort of the least amount of pressure on you, is in first year. Yes, your work counts towards something, but it's not as detrimental to your end grade as the later years. So get involved with as much as you can, but make sure that you get into good habits, because making those habits in second and third year is a lot more difficult than making them when you first get here. And I think that it's really important that you find the right balance for you, because that's not something that I did. I was really bad with finding a balance, and I definitely should have worked on that more in first year.
If you don't find your people straight away, there's always time. Like my best friends in the orchestra, I didn't meet until the end of first year through just a random social that we had. I happened to be sitting next to them. So it was just, there's no rush. I guess. There's a lot of time. You have longer at uni than you think. Yeah, and just sort of follow your passions and your hobbies, because there's always a society and something for that. So you'll definitely be able to find like-minded people, especially if you don't get on with your flatmates, because you've just been randomly selected, so you can choose your friends.
I wish I had told myself that doing really, really well isn't the be all and end all of university. It's so much more than getting good grades. I mean, you want good grades and that's what you want to aspire to, but university is so much more of a learning experience about life skills than it is just your academic degree. And I think that's a really important thing I wish I'd known earlier on. I'm the youngest sibling of 3 to go to university, so I was very lucky. I had a lot of advice going into it. If I had gone into it with absolutely no idea what university was like, I think it would have been a very different experience. Make sure that when you go to university, you are yourself. You can't hide behind who you have been told to be and fit in a box at school, and who all your friends have known you as from reception all the way through to sixth form. University is that time you can almost reinvent yourself and truly be who you are without those preconceived conceptions. And I think that's a really important part of it.
I don't think I could give you a specific favourite memory, but I think I've just loved getting to know such a wide range of different people through getting involved with different things. I've had the opportunity to be involved with RAG, I've been involved with my department kind of committee, I've joined a sport this year, and there are so many students in Loughborough, like 18,000 students, and I just love meeting people from different backgrounds and with different interests. So I couldn't give a specific one. I think it's just kind of a combination of everything.
If we're talking like societies and the union, then I was quite proud of the open letter that I wrote to VC Bob last year regarding mental health. So I myself have accessed like the counselling facilities here, and I found that the waiting times were a little bit ridiculous for people who are like in crises. So I wrote a big open letter to the university stating that we needed to improve this, we needed to make sure that the service was for students, because I felt like there was a gap in knowledge between what students needed and what the service thought we needed. So with the help of Alex Marlowe, we set up this committee between members of Sway and students, and we're kind of looking to see how we can implement what students need from the service.
So I study geography. Ideally, I'd love to work for the BBC and do some sort of programme research, but the BBC is obviously very difficult to get involved with. At the moment, I'm just really enjoying my course, really enjoying being back at university for my final year. And when I finish university and graduate, then we'll think about careers and everything after.
Initially, when I came to Loughborough, where I saw myself after graduating was, so my course was originally, I was meant to be on a 4-year course with 1 placement year integrated into it. I didn't manage to get a placement, and I ended up on a master's that's brand new this year. So that changed things a little bit. I still see myself getting into publishing. It's something I'm still really passionate about, but I think at the same time, these last couple months especially, I've started really considering the prospect of coming back and doing a PhD, and I would love to do it here at Loughborough, because I think this is somewhere that in a few years' time, after like getting some experience working in like a role I'd like to have, I'd love to come back here and just study and do that kind of thing. So I've been finding out more information, talking to current PhD students, and they all love it here. So I would absolutely love to come back and do that kind of thing.